Okay, so let's get started. So in this video, we are going to learn about loops in Python. This is one of the next level, or say another chapter in the Python learning. So before this video, we have been learning about the basic building blocks of Python. That is, we have been talking about what are data types in Python. So that is one of the most important and one of the most necessary topic that should be covered. So if you guys are still uh, not still new to this topic of Python, you should go and press that I icon on the top of the video, or in the description. We have a complete series of the videos that were created on the data types. And now, if not, then go and watch them, and then let's get started with the loops. Hey guys, this is Lokendra, and we are going to learn Python loops in today's class. Okay, and what are loops? That is the first question that comes in our mind in order to understand these iterations in Python. So loop is just nothing. They are more of a repetitive task or a process which performs around certain pattern, right? For example, like we are having certain things. For example, in a list only, I have 10 elements and I want to do certain actions on every element of that list. So there are two ways. One is that you go ahead and pick each and every element one by one manually and do some work that is being required and assigned on top of it. But imagine if we have 1000 entries or 2000 entries in that list, then you are not supposed to do something in that tedious way. Okay, so that's why we have programming. So we use some smarter ways, and one of the smarter ways is use a loop. So in Python, there are ways which are available to perform the iterations or loops. So one is the for, which we are going to cover in this class. We'll take examples and understand, and the next is something which we will cover in the next class, that is while loop. Okay, so let's get started. So with the for loop. Okay, so for example, let's say I have one list. Okay, and this list is having first 10 natural number, right? So question requirement can be, can we read all the list elements and print them in a pattern? So this doing this is very simple, right? If somebody is asking me to print all the uh, list element, yes, I can do that. So uh, let me just copy this and paste it here as fresh, and you will see that you all the elements are printed, but the catch here is that they are printed in the form of the list. But if I ask you to, can you print all the elements one by one, then in that case you will have to consider the index position and will have to repeat this printing statement again and again till the number of elements are exhausted in your reading, right? So for example, this way, uh, for print of 0, then 1, then 2, uh, and so on. So if you run this, you will get, this is how you have been asked for to print all the elements. Now, if at all, let's say I want to do certain processing, I want to add something, or I want to check that whether the number is even or not, or maybe I want to do certain operation based on certain conditions, right, on all the elements. So in that case, this task of doing it one by one will become tedious. To mitigate this, we will use loops. That is, we have the definition that we have already talked, right? So this is list, and we know that list is a collection of um, elements of similar data types, same or different data types, right? They are ordered in nature. So I have covered a complete class on this. There's a video you can see in the description down, and then can go ahead and watch it. Okay, so what is the syntax for loops? What are the syntax for the loop? Syntax is like, you do like for, you pass on the where, you pass on any where in, and then you pass something that is it can be list, it can be tuple, it can be dictionaries, it can be number, sequence, range, whatever you want to have it, right? So it is basically this can have any entity, any set of elements or something. Then there is a comma, and then there comes your statements one, statement two, and so on. So you can keep on writing your code and you can end your code after your loop is over. So two things like we did in the decision making also, we understood like what is scope, what is indentation in Python. So this statement, this hash statement is deliberately being written at some space from the cursor initial margin line. So this tells the interpreter that this whole set of line is under the scope of this for loop. One thing. Second thing that we should understand is that these variables, this is the where, which iteratively takes all the elements of this section one by one. So it can have strings or something, right? So I will just for now comment so that I don't get any syntactical errors while running this, because this is just a syntax. So with a pause, and to understand the definition, this is how we do, right? For inbuilt keyword, variable of your choice in inbuilt keyword, and the entities. It can be any entity that you want to, or maybe data type that we have already learned, right? So if I want to practice this in the loop, so I will write for, first let me declare an list, which is this, which I will just copy, and I will write print myl. That is not needed for now, but I will use for variable myv, variable of your choice, and the name of the uh, list basically, then the colon, and here I will write print my v. And if I run this, you will see that all the 10 elements have been printed in one shot. So imagine I have a bigger list. It becomes very easy for me to operate on this list. In one shot, I get all the values printed. So, so just let's understand. Now, that's very important thing that we should understand from this short example is how is this interpreter looping all the values one by one. This is really important to understand. It looks easy for now because it is very simple and straightforward list of natural numbers, and we are just trying to print all of them. But conceptually, it is very important to understand how this is actually happening. So let's understand this way. I will try to use comment and debug mode so to understand how this is actually working. So my cursor, the cursor at F, will start reading the list one by one. That is one thing. Okay, so it we know that list is ordered, so they are indexed, they have a zeroth position, they have one element, they have n position, they have something, and it will go till the length minus one of the list. Okay, so this for will start looping from first index, and it will keep popping, or maybe keep iterating to next to next to next to element till the length of the list, till it completes the list. And in every iteration it will just print this, because this is what exactly I have been doing uh, inside this iteration. So what happened, initial my v is a variable which will get my l of 0. My l of 0 with the list we understood will get 1, and this will be printed as v my v, which will print eventually 1. Now my cursor will again go to the next iteration, that is 2, the my L of 1, and this will eventually print the value 2. In the next iteration, my cursor will go till my L of 2, and it will print the value of 3, and this will keep on going till the last position is, let's say it is 16 or 17, so it will say my l of 16, which will eventually print 17. That is the last index. It will keep on printing, it will keep printing till it reaches the last position. This is how we normally debug the code, or maybe debug or understand how this loop is working. For now, it must be looking like, why are we doing even for this? It's very much straightforward. But yes, if you want to understand in detail, this is how we should iterate. Okay. Now let's take very simple other examples. Program can be, write a program to take 10 numbers in the list and add one to every position, every element of the list. Okay. For example, I have my L, which is uh, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Expected output is that you'll print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, because I want to add one numerical one to every position. Okay, if you want to try, you can try, but let me just do it and debug it with you. So for, I say I in my L. Okay, so my L is still not declared. So I will just copy this example and declare it here. And first I will print for my understanding whether I am doing correct. So what is this mistake? This is unexpected indent. That means there is a space before you're running this. And if you do this, you'll see all the printing. But this is not expected, right? I want the output, every position should be plus one. So what I will do, s equals to I plus, so I will have the value of that position and it will just print s. Now if you print, you will see that 1 to 11 is being printed. Every index is being iterated. Okay, now similar, if you want to debug this, it is very simple. I will start from here. I'll put hash. I'll say, okay, I is equals to having the my L of 0th position. It will start from 0, that is 0 only. In the next line, s is a variable which is empty. So for understanding, we can have s equals to 0 being declared initially. So s will be 0 here. So what will I will write, s equals to 0, and then because s equals to I plus 1 and I is 0, so s is equals to 0 plus 1, 0 plus 0, sorry, it is starting from 0, which is equals to 0. It will 0 plus 1, sorry, I'm adding 1, and then I will, with this print command, I will write 1, and this iterator will again move from here to the next index. So in the next iteration, it will take I is equals to 1. So similarly, s will become 0, will become I, and I's value is 1 plus 1, which is equals to 2. So what it will print? It will print here in this line, third line. Okay. I hope you understood. And similarly, it will keep on going till the end of the list. Imagine if you would have to do it manually, then you can imagine the time that it is going to take, number of lines that you're going to repeat because of the same work, repetitive task, mundane task. Okay, now in this program only, let's tweak a bit. I want to find the sum of first 10 natural number. First 10 natural number is this expectation. Let's say uh, find the sum of first 10 natural numbers. So I will just use this code only. I will use this code only, and in this code I will just paste it here, and sum is being expected. So I will just write s equals to s plus I in this. Now understand what will happen. I have taken s as 0. It will start looping. S is a global variable here, and s equals to having is s is having a 0th value. So initially s will have 0, and it will add 0, so it will become 0 plus 0. So 0 plus 0 is 0, and in the next iteration it will print 0 here, s equals to, that is 0, it will be printed, and in the next iteration s will be updated to 0, and I will take the value of 1, will say 1, and 0 plus 1 is equals to 2. For example, 0, s is 0, and ith value is 1. 1. So it will be 1. So s will be printed as 1. So now let's understand the fresh iteration. What will happen? In the next iteration, I will become 2. And as we know that s is equals to 1 already, this is equals to 1 plus 2, which is equals to 3. So what will be printed? 3. And we can keep on doing that till the end of the limit. But question is find the sum of the first 10 natural numbers. So this printing is not needed here. I can do the printing after the loop for loop scope is over. So then at the end of the printing, at the end of the iteration, it will just give you the sum. Okay. So if I run this, you will see that 55 is being printed, right? So there are two printings. So let me just cut and make this in a separate line so that we see a difference clearly. You see 55. I can quote a message saying sum of first first 10 natural numbers as per list. Okay, so this is not natural, it is having 0, so I can say this way, and then I can print this. It looks better, right? Okay, so this way we understood how to handle list in loops. Now, if at all we need to handle strings in loop, that is also possible. So loop, what are strings? Strings are again collection of characters, right? Group of one or more characters enclosed in single quote or double quote. So we have that a separate video to understand strings with a lot of examples there are. So you can just go in the description and just enjoy that video also. And definition wise it is just like that only. And if you want to use club strings with the loops, so because they are ordered, they're just like list, so we can have, let's say I have my s equals to I am eating uh, this is a string that I want to play with, right? So loop works perfectly in this. For I in my s, I will, instead of in this list, I'll pass a string name, and if I print all the values, I will see that this all the characters of that string is being printed using this uh, uh, using this loop. Isn't that beautiful? Right, so that is an advantage that we can draw with the help of for loop. So now you're open to do anything with these elements one by one as per your choice. You can check whether that is vowel or not, if that is a space or not, or something like that. For example, if I want to check uh, if I double equals to, let's say, uh, I character I, then I want to print yes, the character is I, or something. Let's say I'm searching some character in the string and I want to validate that inside this. And then I'm also printing all the characters as well. So if I just see, then I will see that at all the positions where I am getting I will see that that message is printing that yes, the character is I. And whereas for the other places, it will just not print anything, because if is something which works, this print is something which is working on the condition of this being true. Okay, so this is interesting. Like if you want to check for the space also, or maybe there is a space, there is in character vowel, or maybe you want to amend something, you want to do something, you can do too many things with these loops, right? So guys, I hope you are able to understand this also. Okay, so now let's understand one few of the feature which are available in the loops, that a break. There's a break function that is available, break method, better say, is available inside this. So we can use this example only to understand the scope of break. So break is basically it's gonna make your iteration go off if some situation is being matched. So for example, in this only I am matching I, but let me match G only, right? Because G is coming up in only once in the string, and the requirement is as soon as you get G in the string, just break it. So what I will do, I will just check if I double equals to G, then I will say a message that Yes, the condition is matched. Okay, and now I will use break feature, get out of it, and I will print. So you will see that I am eating at till the end of the string is being printed because of this for, and immediately as this condition of G is being matched, no further printing is being done, and I've been moved out of that for loop. And for example, I am doing a print here with a message, uh, hey, I am out of the loops loop. Then you will see that immediately after this break, the cursor leaves everything, whatever is there inside the scope of the for, and moves out of that scope and starts working after that. So print is just outside the scope of the for, so it is being printed with that, right? So that's an importance of break, and break is very much necessary when we are creating multiple looping situations. So there is another keyword which is available, that is continue. So let's understand the difference of break and continue with one more example. That is, for example, in this only, I have, instead of using this, use continue. And first let's run this and then let's understand, see what happened. When it reached the G character during its iteration life cycle, it just skipped the printing for that character and it moved to the next iteration. Okay, yes, the condition is matched, it got printed because of this, and then it, because it was saying continue, so then every line being written outside this but in the scope of for loop will be skipped, and the control will go to the next iteration of the string. So for loop is not going to break in the continue, but in break, the loop is going to break. You see that after G, there is nothing is being printed, and immediately the exit message, that is something which is outside the scope of the for, is being printed. But here, only the condition which is being matched, because I am printing around here, and continue is prohibiting me to print this print I, and is going to the next iteration. So it just skipped that and it again started printing something which is outside this, and at the end it also printed, hey, I am out of the loop. That is the last line of the program. So this break and this continue, they are very vital, and they play very pivot role in understanding and using the for loop. Now, let's understand another feature which is available in the loops, that is range. So, this is something that we are talking when we are iterating in the list or strings or something. But let's say, for example, I want to iterate for first 10 numbers or first 100 numbers. So, what am I going to do? Am I going to create a list of 100 numbers or do something? And no, for that, we can have a range feature which is available in Python, and that says for a in range of, let's say, 100, and I print a. This is going to help me start printing from 0th position till the 99th position. That means from 0 till 99, it will start printing all the values that are available. Let's say you want to do some mathematical operation. I want to multiply every number from in a range till 100 with, let's say, something. So I can say print a multiplied by, let's say I want to multiply by 89. So I'll keep on doing that, and this mathematics is implemented, right? Similarly, you can also have a range from start and end. So for example, you are doing for a in range of 2 comma 10, and then I print a. So let me just first cut this, go to the next line, and end it. So you will see the my start range has become 2, and it will go till the last length written minus 1. So this is how range will work. So this is very much natural, or it becomes needed when you are operating with some numbers or you want to do with some range of numbers available. So there is one more interesting feature which is available in the range, and that is you can also add hops So if you remember in string, we have that a slice thing that was available. So here also you can do a similar thing. Let's say I'm writing for a in range of 2 till 10, or maybe 20, and I'm passing a range, let's say 3. So it keeps on hopping from after taking one integer, it will go to the by hopping to the three positions. So for example, I am using print a, you will see it will print 2, and then it will hop three positions. That is third position is being printed 5, then 8, 5 plus 3, 8 plus 3, 11, and so on. Right? So that is so interesting. So if somebody is asking me to print all the odd numbers, okay, so odd numbers, I know alternate numbers are odd numbers in my understanding, right? Or maybe first five odd numbers, something or something like that, maybe. So for I just say for I a in range of 1 till 20, and I want to hop by two positions. So let's see what will happen. I say print a, and it will print. See, all the odd numbers are printed because I'm starting from one, and I'm at after every one printing, I am hopping two positions. So one, then three, then five, then seven, then nine. Similarly, if somebody is asking me to take the zero even into consideration, then I will get all the even number. So there is no need to use if condition to check whether that number is even or not. I can simply use this trick to get that done. Okay. So with this simple iterations. So this is very important, very, very interesting actually. Now there is one more very interesting feature which is available in the loop, that is else feature. So else normally we see is being executed with if, but here in Python we can have that liberty to use else along with the for else. Else comes in picture when you want to print some finishing message or some success message once your loop is executed. So I can say, hey uh, the loop is over or something. It is kind of a block which will only execute when this for statement is whole statement or the iteration is being done successfully. So that is also uh, commonly used in Python. Okay, so in this video, we have understood how to use for, what is the syntax for for. So quickly to revise, it is more of iterating to the repetitive or maybe repetitive tasks through which I want to iterate. For example, list, I was willing to iterate to every element value in that loop in the list. So with that, I just simply use this for syntax, and then for the any variable of your choice in, and the name of the list, and then printed it. There are certain add-on features which are available in the for, that are continue, that are break, that are range, which are available for us to explore and use as per our need. So break will immediately terminate the loop iteration. Then that anything inside that looping will not be continued further. That means this print will not be printed, and immediately after that, any code which is being written outside the scope of the for will be taken care. So that's how it happens. In continue, it stops immediately for this current iteration, and it will go to the next iteration. That is only the difference that we have. Then we have range, which starts from 0 till the given number. Range has a beautiful capacity to give you the start range and the end range, and also it gives you the capacity or feature to write down the hops, number of steps that you want to go when you want to go to the next range number. So using this trick, we can find out maybe even, odd, or something of that sort. And next is the else, that is also feature which is the part of the Python, which can be eventually used to tell that yes, this after this which is being executed after this whole for loop is being taken care with. So guys, in this video we're gonna keep this only. For in the next video we'll go into the nested for. We will understand how nested for is working. We'll also understand the feature of pass. There is also a feature of pass in for loop, and we'll take some more generic examples to revise and understand all this what we have learned to a more concrete examples. With this loop, we can also loop in the dictionary keys, or maybe sets, or maybe tuple. So we'll try covering that also in that video. So just wait for the video. Please subscribe the video if channel if you have not subscribed, so that you get notified. And there are other previous video which we have covered, created. If you have any doubt in any situation, not only with this topic but something which is in general which you want to ask about programming, and you want to understand in a more programmatic way, example way, just write in your comment in the comment, so that we can take this up and help you up with the solutions. Okay, so okay then guys, thank you so much. This is Lokendra signing off. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.